31st, 2018. And yesterday was not only the last day of October, but it also was Halloween for those that practice it or enjoy it. And whether you were doing it for the kids or doing it for yourself, it's no judgment over here. It's personal choices. If you went out there and dressed up or took your kids out or even took your own self out to party or trick or treat or whatever, I hope that you guys were really safe, and I hope that whatever candy you got, please, if for nothing else, check all candies, check anything that you may have gotten to make sure that there's no type of poison or razors or anything, because there are a lot of sick, demented, evil people out here in this world. I personally choose not to do it anymore, and that's my choice, and I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with what other people choose to do. Okay, let's not bash each other, because once upon a time I used to be out there and do the same thing. I used to probably have as much fun as my kids did when they were growing up. So it's just a personal choice. For anybody who wants to PM me or DM me and hit me up and be like, well, why do you go trick or treating? Well, I don't have any grandkids, and even if I did, I have to respect them. I would have to respect their parents' wishes, but I don't have grandkids. Like, I'm not a Uma, which is or a nana or whatever. So anyway, I'm just saying, I know how people can be. They can be so funny. Like, why PM me? Just ask me on my live feed. But anywho, moving forward, and I know that a very, I considered good friend, special friend back in the day that I grew up with from a young age. Yesterday was her birthday, her born day, her solar day. She's not really a social media person, but I'll text her. I'm just going to throw her first name out there. Happy belated birthday, Sheldon. Many, many more to come. I'm going to make sure I text her so tell her that too. So, with that being said, again, welcome to my Aisha Speaks Jade Facebook motivational page, inspirational page, positive quotes. I am affirmations, authentic, genuine, sharing from personal experience as well as sharing good content. So that was a mouthful. So I am going to be speaking on how to master anxiety and worry. Now, I don't know how good we can master it, but hopefully there's some good content in here if you deal with anxiety and worry. And I know I do. Okay. Yes, I do. So I'm being upfront. So worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. Let me say that again. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. So, do you ever experience anxiety and worry beyond reason? Think about that for a minute. Do you ever experience anxiety and worry beyond reason? Does your mind tend to overestimate the risk of life and underestimate the powers and resources you have to handle those tasks? Do you feel a subtle yet persistent sense of anxiety that runs like an undercurrent just beneath your conscious awareness? So, worrying is carrying tomorrow's load with today's strength. Carry 2 days at once. Worrying is carrying tomorrow's load with today's strength, carrying 2 days at once. So the questions that I ask, if so, you are not alone. Most of us have some of that going on. Let's talk about what you can do about it. Let's start with a simple definition. Anxiety is a feeling, state of fear, trepidation, or being overly concerned. Worrying is the fretful thinking we do when we feel anxious. Now, a little anxiety and worry can be helpful. Being a bit anxious or worried may inspire you to study for a test, perhaps, learn a presentation that you have for work or your business, or prepare well for a big event in your life. Anxiety's most productive function is to prepare you for challenges or dangers that you may have to face. So, for example, if you are driving on a snowy day, a little anxiousness may keep you tuned into driving carefully and paying close attention to what is happening around you. However, anxiety is a problem when it gets triggered often, is overwhelming, or you can't let it go. This can cause a chronic state of stress in your body that may lead to difficulty sleeping, exhaustion, irritability, and trouble focusing on what you have to do. It can lead to a downward spiral that is hard to pull yourself out of. Anxiety can be a persistent, low-level undercurrent that keeps you from feeling comfortable, confident, happy, and secure in your life. This type of anxiety may be harder to spot, yet it is no less important because it can keep you from living your life to the fullest. When you are anxious and worried, you may feel that just getting through the day is achievement enough. So let's look at the basic dynamics of anxiety and worry. Then we can explore an effective strategy for working through them. So there are two sides to the anxiety and worry equation. Number one would be overstating a possible challenge or danger and the likelihood that it will happen. Number two, understanding your own abilities and resources to handle that challenge or danger. So, in other words, when you feel anxious, you are looking at what might happen and seeing it as hugely dangerous and highly likely to happen. At the same time, you are feeling that your talents, skills, and resources are small, inadequate, and not up to the challenge that you face. What you are facing looks like a huge catastrophe, and what you have to fend it off feels like a cap gun. Ooh, what an scenario. So unless you take steps to curb your anxiety and manage your worry, it can take you into a downward spiral that can be difficult to get out of. So what steps can you take before that happens? What can you do to pull yourself out of it if it does happen? So one great strategy is to keep a mastering anxiety journal. Okay? A mastering anxiety journal where you record moments of anxiety and worry. Awareness is the first and most essential step to anything you want to change. It enables you to identify anxiety, worry as soon as it arises so you can. Insert a mental pause into your reaction and do something about your concerns. Here's a way to do that. Whenever you feel anxiety and worry, pause, take a break from what you are doing. Practice slow, deep breathing to calm yourself. And then take a few moments to record the following elements. The first would be rate the intensity of your feeling from 0 to 10, 10 being extremely anxious. The second would be make note of what triggered your anxious feeling. What happened right before you felt this way? 3, make note of the worry thoughts that accompany this feeling. 4, make note of any physical symptoms such as muscle tightness, irritability, sweating, confusion, difficulty sleeping, and so on. 5, make note of any worry behaviors such as excessive checking to make sure things are okay, or extreme compensations such as showing up an hour early for an event. And 6, once you've written those things down, assess how likely it is that what you are worried about will actually happen. If it did happen, what could you do about it? What actions could you have taken? What is a more realistic and helpful way to think about the situation? And I quote, shining the light of awareness on anxiety helps to quickly dissolve it. After going through that process, you are much more conscious of the dynamics behind your anxiety worry reaction. You have faced possible outcomes directly, and you have imagined what you can do no matter what happens. You'll likely revise your assessment of what could happen so that you see things less dramatically, less stressful. You'll likely revise your sense of your own abilities and resources more favorably. So with those two moves, you've shifted the equation so you feel more up to the challenges you might face. You'll likely feel much more confident and empowered. So I want you to enjoy your practice. So I hope that you enjoyed that a little bit. I didn't want to be too long because I do have one more to do and I'll be all caught up. But again, this all ties into what I say every time I do an audio or a video. Make sure you do self-care. Incorporate self-care, into your life every day. It is a necessity, not something you do every once in a while. It is a necessity to take care of yourself, your physical, your mental, and your soul. We have to do it because this world is full of challenges and stress, whether or not it's personally directed or we hear a lot of things going on out here in society. You know, if you turn the news on or you listen to it, every day there's something going on. Just a lot of negativity. And if you listen to it all the time, I mean, like all the time, back to back, it just not only brings up anxiety and feeling overwhelmed, it can stress you out, it can depress you. Even if you are not diagnosed with a mental disorder, I mean, just life as we know it, in addition to family and work and if you have your own business, running your own business or running your own businesses, because nowadays it's like you have to have a multiple stream of income to sustain in this world. And so that creates a lot of anxiety and worry because a lot of us want to make sure things are right. We're always like on the go. And so it happens. So in addition to what I spoke on, do research, do YouTube. They have a lot of different techniques. I mean, you can go, there's nothing wrong with support groups. There's nothing wrong with having someone that you feel completely comfortable and trustworthy with to share. You have to release it in the best healthy possible way that you can. Okay, that's why I say, if there are things that you've been going through, that you've been holding on, that you've been, as I say, suffering in silence or holding on or keeping it for so long, you have to start letting it go because it eats you up inside. So I also wanted to say, in addition, that, I try to do my best with doing different awarenesses. I cannot speak on all of them because there is a lot of awarenesses that was out here for the month of October. But one of my passionate ones is mental health or mental illness awareness month. And we don't really say mental illness as much as we used to. It's more so mental disorders. And I have lots of them, but because this kind of ties into your mental stability and your well-being, please just make sure, for those of you who are not diagnosed, and I feel like there's a lot of undiagnosed people, but I am not a doctor. But regardless if you have a mental disorder or not, please take care of your well-being. There are resources out here. If you just feel like you cannot, there are resources out here. Wherever you live, there's resources out here. Be good to yourself. Value yourself. Start knowing what your worth is. Creating your happiness. Self-care, again, can never stop saying self-care because it's truly important. Take care of the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Okay? Know your worth. Don't let people bully you and have all this power or micromanage you or feel that they are superior to you. Stand your ground. So I just wanted to bring that little bit this evening. In regards to this, I will be back shortly this evening to speak on today, which is Thursday, and I will be caught up. Again, be good to yourself, people. Know your value. Pursue your passions, your goals. I send an abundance of positive vibes and great energy. And for those that are out here or not that may have lost someone, a loved one, or someone that they cared about and they transitioned on, I just like to just say my condolences to you, and that at some point in time that you find healing for yourself. Okay? With that being said, I say appreciation and gratitude and thankfulness out to everyone. Namaste and Ashe. Oh, before I go, how could I? Please let me welcome you to my, invite you, I should say, to my social media platforms. Of course, you can find me here on Facebook, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel. Okay? Again, I am on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel. I am under Aisha Speaks Jade. You can find me all under Aisha Speaks Jade. Like it, listen to it, share it, support it, make it go viral on my YouTube channel. Please hit the thumbnail, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all updates. Thanking everyone in advance as all videos are being updated, and share the word, pass the word. Let's support each other. If you're interested also in being a guest on my show, this is my podcast platform, I guess you can say. Then definitely, if you work for a corporation and you want to bring your corporation, they're doing good work, let's talk. If you have your own business, let's talk. If you are out there promoting yourself, other speakers, coaches, financial advisors, liaisons, advocates, activists, let's talk. Let's see if we're a good fit and make this happen. So again, appreciation and gratitude and thankfulness. I say again, Namaste and Ashe. Be good to yourself. Peace.